Hey everybody, Dr. Susan here. I wanted to talk to you today. Actually, probably 2 or 3 times this week, I'm just going to do a little series on heavy metal toxicity. So heavy metal toxicity is something I find with my patients is they kind of don't believe it maybe. They don't see how it's possible. How is mercury allowed to be put into their mouths? It was so dangerous. So if any of you have had your mercury amalgams removed, and the way they come into the room now and remove that metal from your mouth, they're in absolute hazmat suits and they have biohazard containers, and it's like lethal. That's how it's considered, that dangerous. And they put it in our mouths. The thing about that is that if you read about it, you can read about it, and they'll tell you, well, it's only dangerous if it is if friction is created or it's heated. That's the only time it's dangerous. Now think about that. They felt that was safe to put in our mouths. So every time we chew, every time we drink coffee or tea, or every morning or 3 times a day, however many times you drink coffee or tea, the metal amalgam is off-gassing, and it's off-gassing right into your brain. So I encourage you, if you think this is crazy, go to YouTube and put smoking tooth video, or Google just smoking tooth video in there and see. And it's amazing the way this amalgam in that video, I think it's a 30-year-old amalgam, I could be wrong about that, but it was older amalgam. It was still off-gassing as if it was just put in. And that metal travels right through our mouths, up into our brains, into our pituitaries and our hypothalamus, and what regulates most of our body systems where disease is today. So the thyroid issues, endocrine system, female reproductive hormones, female hormones, all that, cycles in women. It's just, they're running to the doctor with these symptoms, and they're giving medication but not getting better. So autoimmunity, so this was my upper root cause to my MS, which is an autoimmune disease, which debilitated me. I was told that I'd be in a wheelchair in 5 years, I'd be dead in probably 10. This is my death year. I turned 50 this year. I should have been dead this year, from what they told me. But I didn't take the answers they gave me, and I found my own way. But that's a whole other video. I think it's another video that got posted today maybe. But this metal toxicity in your mouth that's going into your brain is a huge part of your health crisis. So if you have anything, any autoimmunity, it's directly related to metals. If you have any health condition that they haven't been able to give you an answer to or find an answer to, heavy metals have to be ruled out. So I'll just tell you, I'm trying to keep this like a brief video, but it's hard for me because it's a big topic for me. I was tested for heavy metals at my first functional medicine doctor visit 10 years ago, and I was told I don't have heavy metals. I knew that couldn't be true because my mouth was full of mercury amalgams. I knew I had to have heavy metals. So I got a hair sample taken. That's what they tested. That's not the way to get tested. Blood is not the way to get tested. It has to be a provoked test, they call it. It's a provoked urine test. And you take a provoking agent, and I'd be happy to give more information to anybody who wants it. You could just email us or call us. You have to take a provoking agent to provoke the metals out of your deep tissue. That's where it's stored. It's stored in the brain, the thyroid, the adrenal glands. It's all stored in your body somewhere. It has to be provoked out and then measured in the urine. It's usually a 6-hour or maybe 24-hour urine sample, and that's where you get the real levels that you have. So when I tested the correct way, I found out I had mercury, of course, which I knew I had. I also had thallium and cesium. So my age, I'm 50, so anybody my age or older, so I have patients who are older in their 60s, some even in 70s, where, you know, it wasn't unnatural during our time for our parents to smoke in the car and with windows shut. We were in a car with the windows shut and our parents were smoking, or we were in a setting that were multiple people were smoking, because back in the 70s, even the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s, everybody smoked. There's no known danger of it, and everybody did it. It's nobody's fault. It's just the way it was. So we were exposed to that. So we were exposed to heavy metals that way. We were the generation that got the amalgams, mercury amalgams put in our mouth. Thankfully, they don't do it anymore. But we all had them. Also, lead was a big problem. I had a lot of lead. I had more lead than I had mercury. If you would have asked me, I would have guessed and said, I don't have lead. But the thing is that everyone has to understand, heavy metals are generational toxicities. They go 4 generations in utero from the mom to the baby. So I was exposed to lead because we used to have lead in the gasoline, lead paint, lead, paint on toys that we were putting in our mouths. So we were exposed to lead in the pipes, drinking the water, just to drink tap water back then. Can you believe they were all still alive? The things we used to do. It's always a big joke in my generation. We used to laugh that we're all still alive and look what we went through. But we were exposed to it nonstop. So heavy metal is our generation's major toxicity, as glyphosate is for the younger generation, which again could be another video. And I'm going to be doing a lot of these videos. I'm going to focus a lot on this because it's a big main upper root cause of my MS. It's how I reversed my MS. I had to get rid of these layers. Mercury especially, it attacks the nervous system. So that's where my autoimmune, it was in my brain, my lesions are in my brain, affecting my walking, affecting many things in my nervous system. So Mercury affects the nervous system voraciously. It goes after the nervous system. So I have many patients now who have debilitating pain. They don't know where it's coming from. And it's coming from, they have such a history of heavy metals, and it's attacking the nervous system. And has to be pulled out. It just has to be. And I suffered, I don't know how many of you have been with me for a long time and might have heard this story already. When I detoxed my metals, I actually kind of traced through a lot of the symptoms I had when MS was at its height in my life. I had trouble walking. There were a lot of symptoms because as those metals were being pulled out of my nervous system, I was experiencing a lot of motor dysfunction, walking, running, things like that, things that weren't necessarily affected. Your body compensates amazingly. So you do sometimes have to go through a little down dip in your health to come back up, but you come back up 10 more times higher without these heavy metals in your body. The thing is, because my husband said to me, he's like, why are you doing this? The reason why I'm doing this, and I'm telling you to look into this if this is you, if you don't remove the heavy metals, number one, you're at high risk for cancer. High risk. So heavy metals are constantly challenging the immune system. So if your immune system is not functioning properly, as it wasn't for me in autoimmunity, when those cancer cells pass by every day, your immune system's job is to check them out and mark them to be either killed or whatever it has to do to get them out of the body. They're not supposed to be there. If your immune system can't recognize these cancer cells, they accumulate, and that's how a tumor will start to grow. So that's one, cancer risk. Two is dementia and Alzheimer's. So I knew I had to detox my metals. I had to do it no matter what I suffered through at that time, at that moment. I had to, because the down the road, if I hadn't, it would be much more painful than anything. It was a fraction of what I went through. To get them out of my body, the down the road diseases were so much worse. So I was looking ahead, and like as I was unlayering MS in my body and autoimmunity in my body, I was always had in mind, what am I keeping myself from? What am I preventing in doing what I'm doing now? So it's so important. I ask you, and I always do, please share these videos. So many people are suffering and they don't get answers. And that's the thing. They go to the medical world and they have all these problems and they're given an onslaught of medication. None of it's working, or it'll work in the beginning and then doesn't work anymore. So they change it, and then that one doesn't work. And the end game to that is that they wind up in debilitating pain, and they're giving heavy-duty pain medications. And all of us know that's not the way to go. So definitely share this video. Reach out to us if you have a question. I can see heavy metal toxicity in the functional blood chemistry analysis I do, so I don't very often test for heavy metals because I can see it. So anybody who comes to me for help, I immediately do the functional blood chemistry analysis so I can look and see all the systems in their body, what's the root cause of their issues, and if heavy metals are indeed a problem, or lead. There are ways to see both of them in the blood analysis, and that's I find out. Very rarely do the actual test, because you can see the analysis and you can see the improvement. Including reversal of TSH, so the thyroid hormone reverses amazingly when you detox the heavy metals. It's amazing what happens when you remove the interference. The body will heal itself. You just have to find out what that interference is. The answer is not medication. It's not. Medication deals with the symptom. So fixing the symptom, and with autoimmunity, there's absolutely no answer in the medical world. I would absolutely challenge any medical doctor to tell me what their answer is, and for it to be a real good one, because it's not. I see people all the time in here with autoimmunity, and it's just insane. There's no answer, because that's a chronic illness. Medical world, awesome. In acute illness, I always say that they're amazing. They're not in chronic illness. You have to go and find the root cause. So give us a call if you need us. If you have a question, we're happy to answer anything. That's the thing about us. We're very down to earth here. Whatever you need, call us. We want to help people. So that's why we're making these videos, and I'm going to make more this week. I'm going to go further with the heavy metal toxicity. It's actually a lot of information to give in one video, because it's so enormous, and it's hard to understand, because we're actually not tricked. I mean, we were told by the medical world, a medical doctor, a dentist, that it's safe to put that in our mouths, and here I wound up with MS, or supposed to be dead now at 50 years old. I mean, that's insane. God made us to live healthy, long, vibrant lives, optimal lives. Nobody should be tired. That's the big thing. Chronic fatigue today, fibromyalgia, chronic pain. People are suffering so terribly. So they need to know these root causes and these underlying chronic toxicities that are in their bodies. And we can find them out. It's so easy to find them out. It's becoming easier to get rid of them. You just have to reach out, and we're here to help. If you have any questions, again, please contact us. Please like this video. Please share it, because this is so important for people who are suffering. You don't know how many people are suffering out there. And, I just had a girl call me today because she saw one of my videos, and she's been suffering unnecessarily for so long of a different type of toxicity and different type of symptoms. But I'm so thankful that she found me, know that we're going to find the root cause, and we're able to help her. So please help us help people. That's what we're here for. That's what we want to do. That's why I always say God gave me my story and my mouth. That's all I have to share with people, to help them. There's so many people in this world hurting today. We want to try to help them all. Thank you for watching. Again, please like and share, and we got more to come for you this week. Have a great day.